Hey everybody, who's your Jedi here with another review for you. This time I'm talking episode 5 of Total Drama All-Stars called Moon Madness. And again, we got another fairly solid episode this time around. Nothing really leapt out at me this time around, except for the big twist at the end. I was totally expecting Cameron to get sent home, if not this episode, then probably next, just because I didn't really see there being much story for him left. And frankly, I think we all know that there's no way in heck he's going to win Total Drama 2 seasons in a row. But having him be forcibly switched over to the villains team, now that's interesting, because that puts Cameron in such a completely different place than what he's used to. At the end of the day, Cameron is actually a really good guy, so throwing him to the Sharks like that, well, that's normally something you'd probably want to see happen as Scott, but it's really going to be interesting to see just how Cameron deals with that. On the other hand, he does have Gwen on the Vultures, so I can kind of see those two hitting it off if they got the chance to get to know each other. But anyway, since I brought her up, let's just get into talking about Gwen this episode. Like I said, so far, so much of what's going on this season really does seem to be focused around here, so I had the feeling that Gwen's going to go pretty far this season, and while Owen was officially the winner of Season 1, I have a feeling that this could be the one where Gwen takes it. Maybe. But anyway, let's get into it. So, of course, here we see that Duncan and Gwen do officially break up. I was never really one for the shipping aspect of Total Drama all that much, but I was never really a big fan of Gwen and Duncan together. So I'm certainly not crying here. The thing that just really gets me about this whole situation is that Duncan is, for some reason, all interested in what Courtney thinks of him and all this other stuff, which makes absolutely no sense given where we saw Duncan at the end of Season 3. I mean, like I've said, after he and Courtney had broken up, he went out of his way to torment her and make her miserable for no good reason. And now, for some reason, he's all interested in, Courtney paying attention to him and all this other stuff. I mean, it just makes no sense whatsoever. And, of course, we do see Gwen, really going out of her way, basically even going so far as to officially save Courtney's life. And while Courtney does seem to have a little bit of maybe questioning if her attitude towards Gwen is totally justified, this being Courtney, of course, she immediately rationalizes things to fit her own preconceptions. I mean, this is Courtney, right? But also, speaking of Courtney, we're continuing down this road of her apparently having a thing for Scott. And I gotta say, folks, I continue to be completely baffled by this. As I've said, I really see Scott as basically being the worst aspects of Duncan kind of distilled down into one guy. And that's really the only possible explanation that I could see for Courtney feeling any level of fondness or attraction to him. But it was also Duncan's good points that really kind of made their relationship in Season 1 seem plausible, seem interesting, and even at times kind of cute. We just don't really get that from Scott, and really the best this episode is able to come up with is that Scott likes being ordered around. Well, he certainly found the right person in Courtney if that's what he wants, but gee, if Courtney's going to go for that, just put her together with Brick. I tell you, folks, this show. Anyway, let's go on and talk about what's going on with Sierra. And of course, we get to see her continuing to freak out about not having her phone and blah blah blah. Cody, and more of her latching on to Cameron as substitute Cody. I mean, it really feels like her character is just sort of going in circles at this point. And you have to wonder, after everything that's gone on between him and Sierra, is Cody actually likely to even answer the phone if she calls him? Or is this just all the product of Sierra's mind? I mean, she could be talking to the automated weather or something for all we know, and just seeing it in her own mind and having audio hallucinations that she's talking to Cody. Which, as I've repeatedly said, I really don't like this take on Sierra because it really undoes the character growth she experienced at the end of Season 3, where she and Cody actually seemed to form an understanding, and that being that they were just going to be friends. Seeing Sierra backslide like this, it just really does continue to upset me, because she was actually what I thought to be a really great addition to Total Drama World Tour. Now, granted, a lot of that was the fact that I liked that they were really just poking fun at the Total Drama fans using her. I like when shows aren't afraid to kind of poke a little fun at their audience, because, well, let's face it, this is fandom. People here can be pretty darn bats when it comes to these sort of things. So, yeah. Another thing about this episode is, because there's a lot of relationship going on, we do get to see that Heather is able to at least squeeze out of Alejandro some actions that prove that he does still have some feelings for her. Now, you've probably heard me complain before that it really seems like Alejandro has seriously put his feelings towards Heather on the back burner. He just really seems to be totally focused on winning. Now, if I remember correctly, the official thing for Season 3 is that Heather was the winner. So if that's what's going on in his head, then okay, I can kind of see that a little bit. But given everything those two went through together in Season 3, it just doesn't quite ring true to Alejandro's character for me. But then again, if they were to just sort of pick back up where they left off, there wouldn't be much drama in that, now would it? And I have to say, seeing nice girl Heather was pretty hilarious. And I admit, Heather even played me, because I was expecting there to be at some point some sort of rationalization as to why she was acting like this. No, it's just Heather screwing with people. Now that's some classic Heather. That is classic Heather, and I did get a kick out of that. Let me see here. I really don't have a whole lot to say about the whole situation with Mike. As I said, he's really not done. I mean, this is the first episode where we see evil Mike actually accomplishing something genuinely evil beyond, petty destruction of private property. I mean, before this was evil Mike's actions were basically akin to some kid spray painting obscenities on a wall somewhere. I mean, what he did to Cameron, yeah, that's pretty awful, but really not worse than things that, Courtney has done. I mean, she attacked Cody with a machete in Season 3. So if evil Mike is just sort of ratcheting things up to the point where he's as bad as Season 3 Courtney, I think he's probably going to get schooled on what it really means to be a villain. And, let me see. Yeah, I really do think that kind of covers everything that we have going on here. I don't really have very much to say about Zoe's not realizing that Mike has doing these evil things, because it doesn't really seem like there very much comes out of it this episode, which is slightly disappointing. What I did get a kick out of was them repeatedly referring to the blue harvest moon. Now, of course, if you're a pop culture savvy, you probably know that Blue Harvest was the name that Return of the Jedi was filmed under, in order to help stop spoilers or prevent fans from trying to sneak onto the set and all this other nonsense. And this is hardly the first time that Star Wars references have creeped into Total Drama. In fact, if you pay attention to the show, you've seen Chris, when he's been flying a plane, he's pretty much always been wearing Luke Skywalker's X-Wing outfit. And, of course, who can hardly forget the end of Season 3, which was basically an enormous riff on the birth of Darth Vader at the end of Revenge of the Sith. I mean, come on. You can't ask for a more blatant Star Wars reference than that. But hey, I like me some Star Wars, so I'm certainly not going to complain. Star Wars The Old Republic, man. Fun game. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you this time around. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Who's Your Jedi. Until next time, take care and have a good one.